Call of Duty points are now in Infinite Warfare. If you want the best way to get free Call of Duty points, click the link down in the description, install the app, and start getting yourself some free Call of Duty points today. Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin, and welcome back to another Call of Duty Infinite Warfare video. Now in today's video, I'm going to be talking about some DLC we could see coming in the future of Infinite Warfare, because there was a pretty big leak today, and I wanted to cover it. As you guys know, I try to cover pretty much every single thing with Infinite Warfare multiplayer, because I'm an absolute huge fan of it, and I know you guys are too, or at least, you know, you guys want to keep updated with everything that's in the game. I try to give the best tips, and I try to keep up on the news. And today we had a very big leak from a pretty credible source. I'll be talking about that in today's video, and I have info on some variants we could see coming in the future, as well as some DLC weapons and stuff like that. So, hope you guys will enjoy this video. Of course, let's set a like goal. I'm going to try to upload some more late night videos, because I think most people are off for Thanksgiving break, especially in the US, where I have most of my viewers from. You know, most of my viewers are from the US, Canada, as well as the UK, but I have viewers all over the place, and I love them all. You guys actually leave it in the comment section down below. Where are you guys from? You know, however you guys want to leave it. Don't leave your address, but you know, you can leave your town or your country, whatever you guys feel comfortable leaving. I would be interested to see where everyone is from. And of course, drop a like on this thing. Let's go for 2,000 likes. That would be awesome. And I'll have another video later tonight. And subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. We're growing at a rapid pace, and I really appreciate that. Let's get right into it. So basically, this source came from Reddit. Now, there's a guy on Reddit that I've made a few videos talking about this guy in the past. His name is Void Glitch. He's a verified guy on Reddit, basically. And what he does is he actually plays PC Call of Duty. Now, in PC Call of Duty, it's a bit different from console Call of Duty, because there's a bunch of coders, hackers, whatever you want to call them, that get into the actual code of the game and can see stuff that's unreleased. And that's basically why, if you're thinking back to Infinite Warfare beta, there was a beta for the Xbox One, there was the beta for the PS4, but there was no beta for the PC. And the reason why that was is basically because in Black Ops 3, they did the beta on all of them, and all the PC coders got into the files and leaked practically everything about the damn game during the beta, which really sucks for the developers if they work hard on a game, you know, work on it for 3 years or whatever, and then everyone just leaks everything about the game instantly. That really does suck. By the way, this gameplay in the background is like a 93 kill gameplay with the raw LMG, of course. Such an overpowered gun. Definitely give it a try if you guys haven't already. But basically, that's why there was no Infinite Warfare beta on the PC. Now, this guy Void Glitch, he's known for doing this in the past. He's released credible stuff about supply drop bundles. I think that was the last one he did, or that was one of the most popular ones, is he knew about the supply drop bundles before they came out and stuff like that. And these guys are fairly credible sources. Now, of course, one thing I want you guys to remember is just because the sources are credible doesn't mean this stuff is actually going to come out. This stuff is going to be in the code of the game, but that doesn't mean it's going to be released. You know, everything that is in the game, or that's in the coding, or, you know, scheduled, they go off of based off what people want to see. I mean, I hope that's what they go off of. So basically, even though they have some of these variants in the files, it doesn't mean we're going to get those exact variants, but we're probably going to get at least some of these coming to the game in the future. And they've even said before they're going to be releasing, or they said on the live stream, they're going to be releasing extra prototypes and extra variants. So this definitely plays along with that thing. So let's go over it first of all. Let me read out to you guys some of the info he was able to pull from the files on these supposed DLC variants we're going to be getting soon. The first one is going to be called the NV4 Chaos. Now, this one is called an Epic 2, he has it written down, which basically means that this is going to be the second epic variant of the NV4 Chaos. Of course, now there's not just one epic of everything. There's not just one legendary, because if you look through different ones, especially through the QM, RTS, or whatever you want to call it, the supply drop only variants, there's definitely going to be two. Like, I have two legendaries of the K-Bar. One is from the prototype lab, and one is from the supply drops only. So that's basically what these are probably going to be, supply drops only. We don't know that for sure, though. That's just speculation based on Call of Duty's past. The past can usually tell you quite a bit about the future. But this is the NV4 Chaos, the supposed weapon variant. It has a thing called Celerity. This weapon has a faster fire rate while hip firing, and steady, reduced hip spread, stacks with laser sight. So basically what this variant is supposedly going to do is be an NV4 with very powerful hip fire. This doesn't sound that overpowered, but it does sound like a pretty good variant, especially if you're going to be rushing with the NV4. That's pretty cool. Next one we have here is an ERAD Cyclopene. It's an Epic 2 as well, and it has Particle Beam. Releases a concentrated beam of energy at its target. I really don't know what that means, but it sounds like it's going to change the way the gun fires. It sounds like it's going to make the ERAD fire like a beam instead of energy bullets. That's going to be pretty interesting to see if that comes out. And then it also has focus, reduced idle sway while aiming down the sights. Of course, focus we already have, as well as steady for the reduced hip fire in the end before chaos. Next one we have here is going to be a Karma 45 Gravedigger. This is also going to be an epic, supposedly. Berserker, greatly reduced spread, can no longer aim down sights, and stability, reduced recoil stacked with 4 grip. Basically, what this one's going to be is the Karma 45 Gravedigger is supposedly going to be one that has a very, very good hip fire, but it's hip fire only. This is kind of pretty cool, man. I know a lot of people that actually play on the PC run around and use hipfire a lot. Like, hipfire is really good on the PC version, and it's also really good in the actual game, and you have to get hipfire kills to get the camos. Obviously, I'm working on diamond camos for SMGs right now, so I know how good hipfire is in this game. This variant actually sounds like it's going to be pretty good. Now, he has some other info for different variants. He has the Mauler Centennial, apparently it's called, with the Epic 2. It doesn't have the stats on it yet. KBS Longbow Harbinger, Epic 2, no stats available. And then he has the EBR 800 Bomber. Now, this one is going to apparently be an epic and have Overcharge, a charged 3-shot burst, and Presence of Mind, infinite whole breath duration. So this basically will turn the ABR into a burst. Now, is the burst going to be on the sniper portion or on the assault rifle portion of the gun? That it doesn't really specify here. Once again, these are just the early, hidden notes that he's able to find in the game. Next one we have here is the Banshee Doppler, underbarrel sonar attachment, and can no longer aim down sights, and readiness, reload faster when the mag is empty, stacks with dexterity, we already have that in the game. So basically this is going to be another one of the hipfire only variants if these actually do come to the game, the Banshee Doppler. Next one is the DMC-8, which is actually going to be the Epitaph, and it is the focus fire, reduced spread while firing, and stability, reduced recoil. We also have 3 more of these supposed variants. All of these are going to be epics, apparently, and I guess that's why they're going to, try to juice these epics up in supply drops, try to get more sales in supply drops, probably. That's what I would guess they're going to do. We have the Oni Tengu Smart Shot. Bullets from this weapon now track enemies in a small radius, and stockpile increased ammo. So, Smart Shot, I don't think we have that in the game yet. Bullets from this weapon now track enemies in a small radius. Literally don't know what that means, but honestly, I didn't know what half of this stuff means when we first got the weapon variants in the game. You sort of have to test them out in game. That one does sound pretty interesting. It's, of course, on a pistol. Next pistol, we have the EMC Switchblade, which has Supercell, releases a wide energy blast when fired, and stability, reduced recoil. Supercell releases a wide energy blast when fired. That sounds very similar to the ERAD one, which had a concentrated energy beam. Maybe this is a new direction they're going to try to take the game. It sounds futuristic. We all know Call of Duty, they love their futuristic BS. That sounds like it goes along with that storyline. Next one is going to be Hailstorm Thunder, which actually has explosive rounds. Bullets cause a small explosion, damaging nearby enemies, and focus, reduced idle sway when aiming down sights. That sounds pretty interesting. Explosive rounds. It seems sort of like what the crossbow had from like BO2, I think it was, or BO1. When you shoot the crossbow, it would actually blow up, and that's pretty interesting. Those are all the supposed variants. Now, as far as supposed DLC weapons, there's also something in the code about that, and that's definitely what I want to talk about in this video. Sorry it took me so long to get to the DLC weapons. I'm just really interested in the variants as well. But as far as the DLC weapons, we have 4 things written down here. We have Venom. All there is names in the code. There's no pictures. There's nothing like that. But we have Venom, ARAC, ARACC, which basically it says Epic 1, so I'm guessing that could be a variant for something, not a separate weapon. Amelie, which is actually an LMG from previous Call of Duties. The Amelie is actually a really good LMG. It's not really good, but I bet you if they bring that gun back into this game as their first DLC weapons, it would be good because of how good the LMGs play in this game. You guys know about it using Man-at-Arms. And the last one, it says IW7_ACR. Now that, when I hear ACR, that links to, being an actual ACR assault rifle. Now, if you think about this, the ACR as well as the Amelie are actually both going to be considered classic weapons if they're brought back. So, are they going to be brought back in the classic weapon slot for extra, when maybe they're going to release extra prestiges, or maybe they're just going to throw them in supply drops because, that's what they did in Black Ops 3, throw the new guns in supply drops, try to make some money. It's very interesting. Now, obviously, this doesn't confirm the ACR is coming back, or that the Amelie is coming back, but this definitely gives us a good idea of what we could be seeing from these leaks as our first DLC. Of course, all these variants are very, there's very targeted information about these variants. I wouldn't be surprised if about half of these variants come true and come into the game in the future, or at least some point in this game, because they are already in the game's files, according to this credible source. IW7_ACR sounds very interesting. ACR is probably one of my favorite guns ever from Infinity Ward, and I'd love to see that gun back in the game. And of course, Amelie LMG would also be very cool to have back as a classic weapon or as a DLC in supply drops. However they do it, we're going to have to wait and see on that. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video about some leaks. These are pretty big leaks, and I want to cover everything for you guys. Hopefully, this gave you the gist of all of it. Of course, I want to say, you know, this is a credible source, but things do change, and things that have been in the files before have not come in the game. If you look at Black Ops 3, Black Ops 3 had the MP7 in the game files and the M27 the whole time. They never released it as a DLC weapon. Maybe it still could be coming to Black Ops 3, but everything that's in the files doesn't necessarily mean it's coming to the game. However, this definitely gives us a good idea at some variants and some weapons we could be seeing in the future. Hope you guys did enjoy this. Please drop a like on this thing if you guys made it to the end of the video. Drop 2,000 likes. That would be absolutely awesome. Subscribe for Cookie. Subscribe if you guys are new. And don't looky. And I'm out. Peace.